Don't look under the internet.
Shut up. I killed a mouse. Like,
You did kill a mouse.
it's not fun.
Yeah,
Anyway.
buy mouse
How
traps.
did that go, Mike?
Not fun, because I got off late at work. I got off at 7. And then, my thing's all wobbly. I got off at 7, and then fucking, I come home at like 7:15, and Lori's like, fun news, we have a mouse. I'm like, oh, stellar. So, I'm trying to hunt down this mouse, and I fucking like tape up everything that I think this mouse is fucking coming from, and I killed it.
But how?
We have these like stone like stepping rock things, and
Just fucking.
I grabbed one from the garage.
You made a some kind of a trap.
kind of.
You couldn't have like humanely just put it outside.
I couldn't catch it, and so like I put the rock thing up, and I had like one of the cat's toys that have a string like on it, and I was like, maybe it'll fucking work. And I put like Cheese Whiz on the floor next to it. It came up, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, buddy. And yeah, I fucking got him. I feel super bad about it, but like I chased it around the house for like 20 minutes, and I could not fucking catch it. My cats would do nothing but pick it up, fuck with it, and then drop it so it could run away more. Because
It's a toy.
Cats are fucked, man.
Well, cats just like
Domestic
to.
cats aren't.
They're not hunters.
Yeah,
They're players.
they want feed.
You have been
they want to
recording
be
this
fed.
whole time,
Yeah.
and I just noticed.
Yeah, we are recording. We
What
are
a
live.
day. Welcome to Don't Look Under the Internet.
Welcome, everybody.
That's Jason.
Hello, hello.
That's Doug.
Yeah.
And I'm Tom, and I finally caught Jerry. Beep, 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 TMZs.
TMZ is reporting. Bet you didn't see that coming.
No, the world.
The world
Stunned
stops.
silent.
No, TMZ is reporting. You guys have probably heard of a little association called the National Bowling League,
No.
the NBL.
The NBL.
Well,
The nibble.
they have a championship this weekend. Well, actually, it's the semifinals, but whatever. Nobody actually fucking watches this.
I might.
Well, fucking tune in this weekend where you can see all of this unfold live
The
before your
semifinals.
eyes. But no, in the National Bowling League this weekend, the semifinals are being held, and one of the major players in the game, his name is Terrence Soup, and he is Doug. Don't give me that face. He got injured, so he's no longer able to perform at the semifinals this weekend. So instead, I don't know his last name. His name's Gary, but he will be substituting in for Terrence. And I guess you could kind of say that Gary will be bowling for Soup.
And it's Stacy Madonna. Wait, is that Bowling for
So
Soup?
wait,
No.
can I just-
1985 song?
Can
No?
I, just,
I
can
don't
I just
think it
get
is.
this
Oops.
straight real quick? Did me and Jason both tell you, hey, here's a great TMZ thing for you to do in the same week?
Yeah.
Wait, did you say the same
He
thing?
sent me.
I sent him a great one.
Oh, did you really? I sent him the same thing. He was like, you should do that. And I'm like, okay, cool, I'll interrupt you.
I'm holding off on yours because I felt like to the people it'd be great if someone stole my my bit.
Love it. Same wavelength. I
Yeah.
don't know how that's.
We have the same
anyways.
brain, same penis, probably the same butthole. Who knows? Actually, we do. That was proven on one of
we
other
did.
episodes.
We-
yeah.
yeah.
Maybe
Measured.
you have a tentacle monster coming out of your butthole.
Not my butthole.
Oh,
I call it my monument.
great.
You know what
Remember
else has
that.
you know what else has monuments?
The thing that we're going to talk about after housekeeping.
Exactly.
Diluti.
Clapping above
Housekeeping. First and foremost, we want to thank our new patron,
head.
Rawtooth.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Welcome
Your-
to the cult.
Your name speaks to me in such a way.
Raw Tooth is raw dog in the Patreon. Thank
Yep,
you.
Thank you very much, Rawtooth, and welcome. We have gotten a lot of chitter chatter
Oh yeah.
from our Google phone numbers
so
and
fucking
on
much.
Twitter. Twitter's fucking weird right now. If
Oh,
any
God,
of you
yeah.
listening or have not been seeing our Twitter, go on our Twitter because boy, is there some fucked up shit going on there, and I'm in love with it.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
And so I know we've been talking about playing voicemails at the end of episodes, and our editor has been just
Yeah,
very
here's the fun
absent-minded
thing.
lately.
Jason's the editor, and I'm going to put this into the ether right now.
Go for it.
Jason, if you forget to put a voicemail at the end of this one, the next time we record, I'm going to force you to drink a little fifth of Skull vodka.
Hey,
God.
here's a good one. Same for you if you forget to post to our socials.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Damn.
that's a community
Shots
effort,
fired.
mister.
No, it's not.
Anyway, let's get back to Jason fucking up. So yes, at the end of this episode, there will be more voicemails from
I don't know if
some
it'll be
people.
at the end.
Somewhere.
We're actually not sure where
Yeah.
it's gonna happen. But as you guys kind of heard, the voicemail last time just kind of happened.
Can
so.
any of us like even describe what the hell has been like? If we could put this story into
I'm gonna TLDR, it for you.
TLDR, yeah, for the people at home.
We have how do I explain this exactly? We have someone who has been playing a game with us.
Mhm.
And we're gonna
It's
try.
not Jigsaw.
It's almost Jigsaw.
It's close.
But,
it's his cousin.
It's
cousin Rip.
to say the least. This man is playing a game with us, and I have to do this. I'm so sorry because you said the thing.
Oh no.
What are you doing? Oh, you have a Jigsaw mask. That goes really well on this audio only show.
Doug is wearing the bottom half of a Jigsaw mask. It looks like if Jigsaw was also the Elephant Man.
Yeah, the pointy nose bit is
The
kind of
nose
throwing
is
me off.
massive.
I have a small nose. Anyways, but yeah, so this man has been playing a game with us, and we have some busy lives, and we didn't quite get to the game as quickly as we wanted to. But we've gotten
Pretty far.
into it now.
Honestly, I think it just started.
Yeah, this is definitely the beginning of what I hope is a long journey.
Mike, have you ever played Mortal Kombat?
Long time ago.
Have you ever?
Shaolin Monks, I think, was the last one I played.
That's actually super topical for what I'm about to say. There's a little portion of that game called Test Your Might. And
Where you karate chop a log?
Yes, this was our log to karate chop, and we did. It just took us a bit because busy, but we have finally karate chopped that log, and the game has just started. And holy shit,
There's
am I intrigued!
Various Twitter accounts. There's a link to some Sid's website there that we found a password for. Maybe we should start putting this out there for the people so they can see it too.
Well, the problem is that once we do something on this website, it tends to change rather quickly.
Yeah.
So what I'm hoping we'll be able to do for the people is that we will be able to recount everything that's gone down in our own little diluty ARG that's been thrust upon us.
We can pull a night mine where we
That's
interact,
exactly what's happening.
and you guys just fucking sit there.
But yeah, no, I believe that I mean, said person has been asking us to reach out to the fans about things, but then I happen to crack the code without the fans.
We're just
And-
too fucking good. We
Not
don't
to toot
need
my
you
own
guys.
horn, but yeah, no. So that's kind of what's happening. We are still in the midst of something that is going on. Check the Twitter out, like Mike said. You'll see some crazy videos and some shit going down. So with that all being said, Ripsaw, we got you, buddy.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
And Rebar, we're waiting.
Fucking on, dude.
Yep.
We're fucking coming for you, man. We know what you're doing. We know where you're sleeping.
I'm
I
s-
like your mask.
I love that mask, and I have some questions for you that I will not ask
Also-
on air because it might take away from some of the creepy, but who knows?
Also, Rebar, just throwing it out there, but when we start making money on this show, I'm definitely gonna ask if you want to work with us. We could use a man like you on the job, on
Yeah.
the payroll.
Oh yeah, somebody with some free time and some creative talent.
Yes,
For sure. Yeah, check out our Twitter. You'll
And-
see what we're talking about.
Yep. And then, thanks again, Rawtooth, our beautiful patron. Kisses on your tummy.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of just awesome things,
What's
we
in
have a
front of us?
fucking mystery box in front of us.
We got a
boys.
box.
Dude.
Boyos.
Our wonderful patron and listener, Sam,
Yeah,
we finally got her box.
we did. And I'm pretty sure. So those messages we've been getting about, like, I'll see you tomorrow. The next day, this showed up.
Ah,
So
anthrax.
either there's a hidden camera that's been spying on my apartment all
Or
weekend, or
the Unabomber finally
Yeah.
Finally got to you.
This is just—it's the Zodiac Killer's penis is in here.
Can I say something real quick? Just speaking of our Facebook chat.
Yeah.
Like,
You are in an audio program.
So, fucking, y'all saw the tweet that Rebar tweeted directly to me, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where he's like,
I didn't understand what that
when Hey
was.
Doug drops the password in the Facebook chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
I don't know what that means.
what? Is he hacking my interwebs?
Is he in our fucking Facebook chat? We might have to change the password to our Facebook chat.
We
I
might
don't
have
think
to.
there's a password for the Facebook chat. It's just you get
Well,
invited to it or you're not.
That's fair. Maybe he's just kind of spectating, if that's even a thing. But
If he is, props on him. I mean, he's gonna see some weird shit, and I guess get some spoilers for your upcoming shit. But that's fine.
that's about it. But
Rebar, if you did
questions
that,
for later.
if you were able to do that your salary just got bumped up a little bit more.
Just add yourself to the chat at this point.
Yeah, just talk to us. Be like, hey,
Anyway, box.
yeah, let's fucking open this shit.
Oh my god, I shouldn't have done that. I hope to God that didn't break anything.
I hope
I don't know
thing's
what's
alive in
Yeah,
there.
don't hit the box, bro.
Okay, Sam, I'm so sorry. I hope that didn't do anything.
We
Anyway, let's do this.
Yeah, let's open this mystery box. It's from one of our supporters saying that she wanted to give us a little something special. We saw a very, very, very quick glimpse of part of it, and it looks amazing. So we are.
How about we just show the people? Because we're going to have video on this part.
Should we dump into Sam's box? Nope,
Yes.
Nope. Wait. Nope.
Sam, we're dumping into your box.
touch the box?
Everyone touch the box at the same time.
Okay. This is
Hi,
do something.
we're on video now, too. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mike's mom. Hi, Janine.
Hi, Green Bean Allen.
What up, Janine?
Let's fucking open this box, people.
Mike, would you like to do the honors?
Sure, because there's
sitting in
we have
my.
a pen here. We don't have a fucking knife. 50 patrons will buy a knife.
Now that's when we
That's
get the
the new
dark
goal.
web box.
Hopefully it has a knife in it. Because this isn't working too well. Hi, glass of water. Buy all the electronics.
I mean, I have
on,
scissors,
muscles.
but they're not here. And I think this is funnier.
I got it. Well, there's a note. Who wants to read the
Ooh.
note?
I got it.
Oh, it's in cursive. Thank God. I can't read cursive very well. Wait till... Okay,
Yeah,
read
let's do the note first.
Thank you,
What?
Sam, so
There's
much.
a $10 bill for beer.
Oh, Sam.
I'm gonna
Look, show
rip-
it to the camera. Sam,
You are the best.
Smells like Scotch tape.
Smells like money.
There we go.
That's where I belong. Oh, that's my hair.
There you go. It's not working.
It's not working.
Okay.
What's it say?
So, the note says, just wanted to say I love y'all and the content you create.
We love you.
You guys are doing great, and I'm grateful to have stumbled across the podcast. I hope you enjoy this piece as well as the extra little gift. Also have a wonderful holiday season. P.S. Here's some beer money. Smiley face.
Hell yeah.
Sam, we don't deserve you.
We don't.
We
really-
don't deserve any of you listeners,
we
but
really
Sam,
don't.
we don't deserve you extra hard.
I feel like this is Christmas in
You wanna-
December.
Yeah, I'll fucking take this one.
Yeah.
What is this?
Oh my god, there's multiple things. Sam, my fucking
What
god.
the fuck, Sam?
You are such a nice person.
All right, and
Oh, I'm so
this
excited.
little bitty. Oh,
Show it to the people on there. That's the reason we have the video.
okay. There's a bunch of stuff in here, and then
Here, let me move the box so you can dump
Yeah,
it
put
out
it on
if
the
you
thing.
need.
Here, yeah. Put it on the table.
there's a little
Oh.
pouch. There's this little. I know,
That's
Mike.
looking toothy.
I know,
Is
Mike.
it drugs?
Is it drugs?
Mike, I think this was meant for you.
It's a little like brown.
Oh,
Oh, it's got teeth in it.
this is a holy
It's
shit.
got teeth in it.
Them's real teeth, aren't
These
they?
are real. These are
Whoa.
fucking. These are real teeth, my guy.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god. Are they people teeth?
If they are,
I'm not a
they've-
dentist.
They've spent way too long
Sam, are these
underground
people
eating
teeth?
rocks.
Also, I don't know where you just buy little vials like this.
What do you mean? Oh, little vials. I thought you were going to say, where do you buy teeth? I'm like, you literally were at a shop
That's true.
where they
I
sold
was.
human teeth.
Oh,
Okay, so I
Sam,
believe-
you're plucking at
I
my
believe this
heartstrings
is
here.
this is the namesake right here.
Yes. Mike, would you like to do the honors
yes,
on this
please,
guy?
Please do the
sure.
honors.
Okay.
This is the intended
Yes.
package.
Oh golly. Oh,
Do you know how
geez.
tape works, Mike?
Not that well. What's tape?
Oh,
You like this
great.
ASMR I got going on here?
This is great.
Next, I'll eat a fucking king crab leg like it's a mukbang.
I'm sure we'll have a fucking disclaimer here to
Audio files that it's gonna suck for you for the next like 10 minutes.
as Mike tries to.
I mean, he could do this away from the microphone. He
Nope,
could.
I'm going all in. Sam,
Oh,
you
even
wonderful-
closer. Good. Good.
Sam, you wonderful person. What did you do? What did you make? How even do I
Would you like help?
I will not be conquered by bubble wrap, dude. Okay, that's tape. All right, hang on. I got it open on the top.
Sam, you've defeated Mike with simple bubble wrap and tape.
All right, I haven't gotten it open yet. I'm getting there.
I don't think this man has ever seen bubble tape in his life.
I need to...
I'm just making it thicker.
This is fucking crazy.
I got
sorry,
it.
everybody.
I fucking got it. I got it. I got it.
This is going to be a nightmare to edit.
Ooh, there's another thing on it. It says, cue the drum roll. Oh.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
I haven't seen it yet.
That looks amazing.
Describe it to me.
phenomenal.
It's
It's
a monument to
straight
Orthon.
out of H.P. Lovecraft's head.
It's seriously. It's like if H.P. Lovecraft was a dentist.
Ooh. Doctor
take a gander.
MD H.P. Lovecraft.
H.P. MD.
Oh, that's fucking rad, dude. Oh, he's got like chips at the top, like it's been like fucked with.
That's the chewy part. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, that's so cool. Oh, she signed it.
Hell yeah. She fucking
Cool
better have.
signature, Sam.
This is a one of
Oh
one.
my god, this is so fucking cool.
I am so excited to see this
show
up
it to
close.
people. Look at that shit. It's fucking dead cheese. Cheese. Sam, you are so cool.
Sam, you are fucking incredible, and we appreciate the shit out of you.
This is going like right fucking.
Can I see it up close?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sam, so fucking much.
This is awesome.
I hope that
Thank you
this
so
audio
much.
also comes in on the camera for when we upload this to the gram.
Yes.
I hope you hear that.
Oh,
That's all I love. Sam, again, thank you so much. That's super awesome and sweet of you.
This is fucking
you see
amazing.
that?
Holy shit.
I'm gonna be staring at this all week. This is incredible. If you ever want to do more artwork, we will never.
And we will commission
You'll never
the
say
shit
no.
out of you.
Yeah, we will commission this
There
shit.
could be like a whole civilization that lives up here in fucking
It looks
Orthon's
mountainous.
head.
Mm.
I'm
know
gonna
what I'm
turn this
saying?
into a thing for Sam. Ready? What are we drinking? What are we thinking? There's a bottle here and it's empty.
Not
Yeah.
yet.
No, we just cracked it open. Sam,
We
this
did.
bottle is dedicated to you.
Yes, and since we're on video, I might as well show it. We are drinking some Sexton single malt Irish whiskey,
Mhm.
and fucking hell, is it delicious?
Yeah, very good.
Doug and I are pretty deep in it so far. So
We dedicate this bottle to you and this cheers to you.
yeah,
Here's to Sam,
here's to you, Sam. Thank you
the
so
best of them all, the
fucking
best little
much.
cult member a cult could ask for.
Hell yeah!
You're like
Our-
Jim Jones, only we're not going to ask you to off
Don't
yourself.
get excited about that.
I'm not gonna like go blind and call the toilet the tucket because that's what he used to do in his old times because of drugs.
For somebody who doesn't like cults, you know a lot about cults.
He's a phony. He's a big fat
All right.
phony.
To Sam.
To Sam, thank
and
you
our
so
first
much.
piece of fucking fan art. Thank you so
Sam.
much.
Hell yeah!
And to you, the listener.
To you.
When you hear the clink, drink. Yummy in my tummy. We kept that all in. You didn't even hit the non-stop record button.
No, it's
Sam, you get every little
you get everything.
mouth noise.
$10. Get your throat noises.
Yeah. Again, thank you so much, Sam.
Please don't make that a tear because I
Sam?
have to deal with that.
Sam's love and care is a monument to this
Here's what we're gonna do.
show.
We're
Right
gonna
here.
put this.
He's gonna break the frame.
Right
I'm
here.
gonna break it right now. Just that's how much I love it. No, we're gonna-
Sam's love is a monument to how great this show is.
hell yeah. Oh my god, we appreciate this. This is incredible. This must have taken some fucking time. This definitely took some thought, and we cannot put into words how appreciative we are.
If you want to see the picture, go on our socials. We're gonna post the video on all the socials.
Post a video. I'm probably gonna take a picture of it and glitch it up, and I mean we'll post
Oh,
what it
hell
looks
no.
like.
I would not. I was gonna say, don't even glitch it. This is too perfect.
Yeah, no, it's pretty
this
fucking
is-
good.
Maybe this will go on a shirt. Sam, let us know how you feel
Let us
about
know
that.
if we have permission to use this for a shirt because holy
We'll pay
shit!
you.
You will absolutely get one for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We'll pay your
so.
royalties. We'll figure that out.
Well,
That's a lot of promises that we're making in one Passover.
Anyway.
but yes,
Monument.
speaking of monuments,
We're doing Alex, Kansas,
yes,
or however you actually pronounce it.
We're
at the
doing
end of
him.
everything,
it's Alex, Kansas.
Well, at
It's
the
like-
end, it's like
it's like-
Kansas or something.
That's not Kansas is not his name.
no, but
It's
either
Canasas
way.
or something
yeah,
like that.
Next, but we fucking beat you to it.
Yep,
Suck
we did.
it, my guy. Suck it.
Unless his video comes out in the next week.
I'm gonna be so mad if that's
in
the
which
case.
eat your fucking feet, Mike.
So I came to the impression, because these are relatively short videos. You go to ALEXKANSAS, we're covering the Monument Mythos.
He says relatively short.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah. So we're covering season 1 of the Monument Mythos, which all the videos are relatively short. All mine were anyway.
Yep. All of yours were.
And I thought I would just give like a nice, short, sweet, to the point,
That's fine, man.
description of mine. And then I looked at their notes.
Real quick, we all researched, as we do, a third of this whole thing.
Yes.
So you guys are going to listen to us put a bunch of the connections together on air that we...
Yeah.
Because I haven't watched all the videos, Mike hasn't, Jason hasn't.
I watched all of season 1, but not season 2.
Oh, see, I did not.
There's 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So Mike might be a little bit more informed, even though he was hammered
Yeah,
while
I was
watching them.
shit-faced while watching them. So half the shit I was like, the fuck does that mean? Like, just sitting in my house at 4 a.m, like, what? So we're going to see how this goes.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to get it out there because this is fairly new and it's getting very popular. And I want all of you to go and watch these videos because they're fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. From what I saw, these are very entertaining, very intriguing. And like, I wanted to watch the rest directly after researching, but I knew that would detract from your audio listening experience. So I fucking didn't.
There are 12 videos in season 1. They're all around the span of, like, I would say an average of 4 minutes each. If you take the total average of them all, there's one that's like there's one that's like almost 9 minutes long, but the rest, like mine, for example, were like 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yeah.
The first one is called the Liberty Lurker, and it's essentially an interview between or with the guy who actually built the Statue of Liberty for us.
Yeah.
And it's starting with him talking back in 1889 about how us Americans, we keep sending him moral information to like build the Statue of Liberty differently. Like we keep having him build this pedestal bigger and bigger and bigger. And he's like, why do they want this to get getting bigger? and like all his team, like he's like, oh, my team keeps summing up to me, like, why are we keep building this thing bigger? And he's like, the Americans want it bigger. Don't know what to fucking tell you.
Yeah, he literally says, ask the Americans.
Yeah, he's like, and he says in Italian, he's like, ask the Americanos, or some shit like that. Or,
Perfect rendition.
But it's kind of, this whole thing is kind of played out kind of similar to like a Local 58 Gemini-ish thing. I wouldn't really call it analog horror, but it's on that, like, it's teetering on that path.
It's on the cusp.
Yeah, it's like teetering on that path.
Jason put it in the best way. He said it's an ARS.
Yeah, alternate reality story.
Yeah.
Because it's not really a game. It's not just a straight up story. It's somewhere in between.
Yeah. We get a cut to where going from 1889 all the way up to 1949 in my video.
This happens a lot in all of the videos.
Yes, there's a lot of back and forth, so it's going to be a little difficult to keep up.
One of mine goes from like 1840 to like 2003.
Yeah, mine does the
ridiculous.
Same thing. It's very weird. We'll try to keep it as, relatively simple, again, relative, as we can. But in 1949, the statue underwent extensive renovations, and the blueprints were released after being classified for 36 years. And in these blueprints for the Statue of Liberty, you see that the insides of the Statue of Liberty, it kind of looks like, if you've ever seen, like, I keep looking at it, I think of like a space shuttle, like when it's just sitting on Earth. It kind of looks like that. And the inside is like this big, like, chamber, and it's got these wheels right underneath the feet of the Statue of Liberty.
Mm-hmm. Almost like if it were to roll to a rocket launch pad or some shit. Yeah.
And it's got like the stairwell going in it as well. And a lot of like empty space underneath. And then we get another flash forward to the summer of 1954, where thousands of immigrants in Ellis Island describe the super just nasty smell that's coming from the island. We cut to this immigrant woman who is talking about how her family has to keep like spraying perfume in her apartment, and the perfumes only last like an hour until the stench comes back. She says it smells like rotting flesh. She also describes how police would come and kind of corral a bunch of immigrants and take them to the Statue of Liberty.
Oh yeah, from Ellis Island.
Yeah, and they're never heard from again. And she's like, those are the nights where the smell gets really bad.
Doesn't she say something like it smells like a slaughterhouse?
Yeah. They mention
Yeah.
slaughterhouse a lot. Which, what do you think is going on there? Smells like a slaughterhouse. There's just a big old door in the fucking...
It's the good old American tradition of killing people that aren't from this country.
Right. We get
our favorite pastime.
It really is.
we get a cut after this woman's interview. It cuts forward to August of 1985. And the caption is just the first sighting of the Liberty lurker. And you see the Statue of Liberty just slowly kind of move out from the feet, which is what those wheels, I'm assuming, were for.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just a real quick, I'm talking like maybe a frame or two of like what looks like a tentacle come out from underneath. And then it just goes dark. You hear like monster noises type of deal. But
just like the cookie cutter monster noises that you would hear.
That kind of deal.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was thinking RAR XD. But...
RAR XD.
No, not emos from 2005.
Damn. We also get cut after that to a, I guess you can kind of say an investigation. It says, upon investigation, local authorities likened the waste storage compartment to a mass grave. If you have family members who were last seen at Ellis Island between the years 1949 and 1954, you may be entitled to the compensation.
Hell yeah.
Hell
JG
yes.
Jet Whitworth, motherfucker. But
If
that's...
you have mesothelioma.
Yeah. Peter Francis Tracy.
Seriously.
But
I
that's
pass that dude's fucking office in Rockford all the time.
that's our introduction to the Monument Mythos, is this weird thing lurking inside the Statue of Liberty.
I feel like that's a... Go ahead.
No, you.
Okay, I feel like that's a foreshadowing for the rest of the topics throughout season 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's surprisingly they call it the Monument Mythos for a reason.
Yep.
And it'll start to make more sense now. Like, so we were talking about this earlier, actually, and like I think we've all seen a bit more than we like know we have, because I'm pretty sure you probably watched.
I watched this one. This is like when we first decided we were doing this one. I watched like the first couple. And like, unfortunately, no overlap happened, so I didn't see any of the videos I was supposed to watch. But
but I just want to reiterate this again for those listening, that this is going to be one of those episodes where you're going to want to like watch the video.
We say this a lot, but
listen to us talk about it if it helps, because otherwise we're going to just shit out all the videos at you, and you're going to be like, what?
Well,
honestly, we think of us this way. Don't Look Under the Internet is an hour and a half long advertisement for these YouTube channels.
Here's the thing is...
We don't want you to look at the internet, but you should go and watch.
Well, here's the thing is a lot of like the best parts of the hidden horrors of the internet are analog horrors.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's very difficult to put analog horror into just audio. Like, there's a lot of visual components. So, like, we've gotten a lot of people, like a lot of you, saying you love when we cover analog horrors. We love covering them too, but that does require you guys to kind of watch a few videos if you want the full,
we're like an IKEA
immersion
podcast.
we
have to follow the instructions.
Yeah, right.
And they're all in Swedish.
Yeah, but that's why we kind of try to do them justice in an audio realm as much as we can.
Yeah.
But they do kind of require a bit of visual for the most part.
Basically, what Mike is saying is, while listening to this, go ahead and follow along at home on the ALEXKANSAS YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see exactly what we're talking about. If you need to pause, watch the video, and then listen to us describe it, cool.
Yeah, go follow him too, because he earns it, because this is great.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So is that all from...
That's it for Liberty Lurker.
Okay. So what is the next one anything more, like, is it linear? Is it something that it follows a story?
Doug, you tell me.
There's a bit of jumping around that happens in this, but the more you watch the videos, I say this not knowing, actually.
Right.
But the more you jump around, the more you start to see connections, even with just the ones that I watched. So the next video that we actually get to is called Rushmore Revenge. This video is basically a giant shot of Mount Rushmore. And you see that there is a bunch of vandalism happening on Mount Rushmore. You get things saying like 2,600 people die a year at monuments. The government can fund mass murder if it's a monument. Blood of Liberty will be avenged. The souls of
Whoa.
Lincoln will be freed. Like, you see all this weird cryptic stuff on the monument.
This is all now that I've watched what I've watched, this is all foreshadowing.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
all of it.
absolutely. Because I still don't understand the souls of Lincoln thing. And I knew that was coming up at one point. Shut your fucking mouth.
We know that you covered it, Mike.
No spoilers, damn it. But it basically gets to a point where you see that they set up surveillance of the monument, and it's like from like Thursday to Sunday or something like that. And
Yeah, they get a they find a piece of graffiti that says like, "Oh, get ready for the infection."
Yeah.
And it's like it's gonna happen.
Shit.
It's gonna happen like
I know
Monday. It's gonna happen like Wednesday to Friday between this time. So they put out
that. Yeah, and that's
Holy shit!
that's why they're like filming it and have the security at Mount Rushmore. And you see this video. Basically, the part of this little short story, you see them cut to like a real life video instead of just like a moving image, basically.
Do you guys want to watch the Neverending Story? It's free with ads.
Damn, I do actually.
All right, guys, thanks so much. We're watching this.
Sorry,
we're
I don't
out.
want to cut you off way too much, but Sam
Ducks
just
are
responded
fun.
back. They are puppy teeth because she used to work at a doggy daycare and she got them from there.
Orthon will be pleased.
Orthon will be pleased.
Thank you, Sam.
All right, so now that we've watched the whole never-ending story, we can get back to what we were talking about. So these videos, they go through, like I said, it's like Thursday through Sunday, and they're just like quick little like 4 or 5 second shots of the monument. Nothing happens on Thursday, nothing happens on Friday, and then we get to Saturday, and we hear some weird things because whoever was filming forgot to take the cap off of the video camera. And then it ends.
As is in a video like this where production value is kind of low. So
But you
do
need
what you
that
can.
to hold the suspense. But then
It's
we get to,
redeeming.
we need to get, and then we get to Sunday, and let's just play a short snippet of what Sunday sounds like.
This is what Sunday sounds like in America, everybody who's not from America.
So as disturbing as that sounded, pretty much what happens is on Sunday it starts off like real black, and then it just pans over to Mount Rushmore, and you can see that the whole entirety of the monument has no facial features anymore, and there's just these like fucked up spikes like coming out of their heads now.
Very
and
creepy.
it just cuts right there. But there is a funny little like quip at the end that says Mount Rushmore smells just like baby powder nowadays. I think it comes from the stuff that the workers put on the heads. Yeah, I see them do it all the time. They go from Washington to Lincoln every night, powdering it like a baby.
Like a baby.
It's
But why?
I don't know.
One can assume baby powder stops
All right.
spikies.
Come here, Lincoln. You're looking a little dry, or
Yeah.
a little moist behind the ears there. We gotta dry you up.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty much the entirety of the Rushmore Revenge.
Yeah, a lot of these videos are, like Mike said, they're a little bit shorter, especially towards the beginning, just to build like a sense of tension and horror, I guess. But I think this next one, from what I saw a bit of this, I wasn't really paying attention too much, but from what I remember, it starts to kick off like the story, kind of.
I don't have a whole lot to say about this next one.
That's fine.
But I have enough to say about this next one, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next video that you see in the series is called Alcatraz Attack, and it's a very short video, and it really doesn't do any justice in explaining what's happening, but this is what I've gathered from watching it fucking 14 times in a row. So it kind of starts off with like a blueprint of Alcatraz. And inside of Alcatraz, what you see happening is what I would assume is mitosis, which is basically, it looks like there is a cell dividing inside of Alcatraz.
Right.
Mhm.
And this is on the blueprint. This is like straight from the blueprint. And then we move from the blueprint to an actual like video from like far away of Alcatraz, and then it says like day 1 of radiation. And then we see this like big red circle hit Alcatraz. And
Okay.
then after that, we cut to like another clip of basically what looks like Alcatraz again, but with some terrible noises happening. And then it like moves the camera over, and you just see like what kind of looks like 3 or 4 more Alcatrazes.
Yeah, like they're
The
like
fuck?
I think they're like kind of moving, right?
Yeah, they're like kind of like floating back and forth.
It's like an Avatar with the lion island.
Yeah.
I don't remember enough about
Yeah.
Avatar to
Just
weigh in on
agree-
that.
Agree and
Yes,
nod.
just agree.
But so basically, what it ends up saying is that now Alcatraz is basically expanding and like kind of taking over the area around it, and it like explains that like it like shows this like graph basically of like how far it's going to expand like into the future, and then at the end it's like by basically it expanded into Texas as of 2020.
Yeah.
And but like doesn't explain anything more than that other than that you just see this like blueprint picture of Alcatraz just like spreading black into America.
It's
pretty much.
it's kind of like, you know how you said you saw the mitosis inside of Alcatraz?
Mhm.
It's kind of like if you look at Alcatraz as the cell on the planet, it's doing mitosis, I guess.
Almost
Yeah.
like it might have buried underground in the Permian Basin region of West Texas.
It's very
Perhaps.
possible.
Perhaps.
Very, very possible.
Who knows?
But yeah, no, it's
We have a
just-
listener that lives by the Permian Basin area.
Yeah, I heard right. Yeah. we
They
did.
should go to the fucking Mystery Flush
He
Pits.
said he might. I
Please.
believe they said it was a 2-hour trip from them.
Hell yeah, that's
Yo,
fucking doable.
Apparently something happened.
A lot of things happened with that episode and the responses to it, and something about Yosemite and the 2007 incident. We got a lot of information, and maybe we'll revisit this. Who knows? And
Well,
honestly, I want to make a D&D campaign based
Yosemite
in it.
did 2007, and
Yeah.
I guess
Well,
He has one
jet
comment
fuel-
under his belt, and it's on our channel.
Well,
jet
again,
fuel doesn't melt steel beams.
Full disclosure, I did say multiple times in that episode that we were covering very bare bones stuff,
Yeah.
so we can do another episode in the future if we felt like it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So-
we don't have all the info there.
Yes, because we
apologize.
purposely chose to keep a lot out.
We apologize if we skipped over your favorite parts, but we will be coming back to it. Don't worry. So now that we are done talking about a multiplying, expanding Alcatraz, let's go into a little video called Dean Democracy.
Woo!
Now-
Oh, say, can you see?
Thank you, Mike.
Anytime.
So the Dean Democracy video, it's kind of like an informational video, and it's just a narration over a bunch of like historical events that, as you will come to see, you shouldn't remember because they did not fucking happen, at least according to our universe, timeline, whatever you want to call it.
Our alleged reality.
Yeah, if you believe in multiverse theory, this is one of the many infinite multiverses that exist near us. But basically, what happens is this lady comes on and starts talking about Peter Jennings, which you all should know from is he on what, Nightly News?
I have no idea who you're talking
See,
about.
he's a news anchor. He's pretty fucking famous,
Like Dan Rather.
like Dan Rather, like Lester Holt.
Oh, okay.
He's in that caliber.
Lou Bega.
Yes,
a,
Lou Bega. Same caliber as Lou Bega.
Peter Charles Archibald Ewart Jennings was a Canadian-American television journalist who served as the sole anchor of ABC World News
ABC World
Tonight.
News.
from 1983 until
Walter
his death
Cronkite.
of lung cancer in 2005.
I
Great.
honestly didn't know he died of lung cancer.
Yeah.
Where's
Learning
this all
sorts of
going?
stuff. So this is going. So basically, what you see him on the news, way back when the 37th president was about to be elected.
Who was it?
Oh, I'll get there. Don't worry.
As you may know.
And he's doing these newscasts for the duration of like a week, and intermittently he'll drop these little subtle hints that this weekend we're gonna unveil something something mysterious. He announces a mystery gift to the American public as like one of the greatest gifts to America, and he keeps building the suspense, building the anticipation.
Is it Nutella?
Yes,
Is it-
Nutella's out.
Harry Potter?
No. This is when Tootsie Rolls.
Tootsie,
It was Tootsie
yes.
Roll.
This is where we get the invention of Tootsie Rolls. So after he builds all this anticipation, 60 million Americans tune into a newscast on the weekend, And as they did, all they see, instead of like Peter Jennings, they see this black screen with white text, and it says Dean Democracy with a countdown timer from 10.
Ominous.
Incredibly, because there was nothing with it. It was just a countdown timer. So naturally, everyone thought this was nuclear war, and it was happening in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So they started freaking the fuck out.
The 3 Fs. Quick.
Front
Fuck.
yard, face up, feet together.
Yes.
Something about
Um,
fucking.
But once it hit 0, everybody in America that was tuning into this program immediately started celebrating. And would any of you like to take a gander at why that is?
Because Dean Cain was announced to be Superman.
So close.
'Cause
One of the words in that sentence was correct.
Dean from Supernatural was announced.
No, James Dean was announcing his presidency. Now, I know most
Hell
people
yeah.
have heard the name James Dean, but just to give you a little of an idea of who he was, he starred in a very popular movie called Rebel Without a Cause back in the 50s. He was like the bad boy actor of his era.
He only did like the one movie, didn't he? I don't think he did much.
He did a couple movies, not many, but that's
Yeah.
the one that kind of made him super famous. Now, if you remember that, you also remember that in the same year that movie came out, he died in a car crash.
Mm-hmm.
Except apparently fucking not, because he just announced his presidency. And so America, they just celebrated. It was like a fucking week-long party for them. But let's talk about something else now.
Now for something different.
Do you like my notes?
Not for something completely different.
That's what it is. yeah.
Literally, it jumps from all of this to I'm gonna read this fucking because it's just so outlandish. It ties together in the end, but when I was watching this, I was like, "What the fuck?" So it goes from talking about James Dean announcing his presidency to this sentence. Due to repeated assassination attempts on Robert Kennedy, the Democratic Party presidential debates were canceled for the 1968 election season. I'm like,
Go on.
okay. All right. And after a little bit, there's some information about like the cancellations and all that don't really matter too much. But you eventually find out that James Dean created a show for his campaign that actually became the reason why he had a chance at winning this presidency. Now, again, what the fuck? I thought, James Dean is supposed to be dead. And watching this, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to take this with a grain of salt. But he instead of participating in debates because of, assassination attempts on Robert Kennedy.
It's too
Repeated assassination attempts on Robert Kennedy. Repeated, which means they tried multiple times. Not just the one time where he fucking died.
Okay.
So not only is James Dean alive, Robert Kennedy is also fucking alive.
I like your magic words.
And so Richard Nixon was actually one of the viewers of this show that Dean created, and literally on record, Nixon goes to say that
No, do the voice.
I'm gonna vote for you because you made a fantastic television program.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, that was a good Nixon.
I'm getting better, right?
You're really good at impersonating racists.
I don't know if I like that.
Moving on.
So Nixon said that he was going to vote for him just because of his pure appeal to the public. Now, not everybody held the same sentiment. A radio program was hijacked. I'm not sure which one, but it broadcast to America how it basically just said "fuck James Dean." Like it was just a giant smear piece.
Just like we say, fuck Corbin, Kentucky, you heard me?
It's the same shit except
Damn, we're
about
hitting
James
all
Dean.
the stops tonight. All right,
Yeah,
let's
we
go.
We really are. But no, it just says fuck James Dean, and Southern conservatives agreed wholeheartedly that they didn't want this, rebel without a cause bad boy to fucking run the country.
Of course they.
Why would they don't? They want law. They want order. They want the old ways. They don't want anything to change. And
They
I
want
like
Trump.
I mean, that's another.
Cut here.
What? I didn't say anything.
And so they basically made a commercial that aired, and it showed a like this cutout figure of James Dean, and he's just like wiggling around, and all of a sudden you see this weird shadowy appendage like shoot out of the side of him and wiggle a bit, and it ends there, and then the text pops up that says James Dean is no man, which is ominous as fuck. But despite that, James Dean goes on to win this election. But at first he refused, and he literally was just like, nah, I want to go race cars. And he did.
Right.
He literally went to go race some cars for a bit, and eventually it comes up that he did accept, and he was elected the 37th president of the United States, which was supposed to be Richard fucking Nixon.
Arroo!
Yes. And he gave an inaugural address, apparently. And do you guys want to hear what he had to say to the American people?
I do.
Oh, God.
That's the wrong person, but yeah.
I like your
Right
funny
time.
words, Magic Man.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Kennedy. President Kennedy. This is James Dean's inaugural presidential speech.
I have a speech, and it has the flotsam that you people expect to hear. But that's not fair. No, that's not fair at all. I'm here for all of you. It's only fair that you speak for yourselves. My words shouldn't be louder than yours. So I've brought many other guests to speak. They're just people like you and I. In the same time that many other presidents have spoken by themselves, America will speak. Thank you.
Yeah, I won't lie. I have no idea what James Dean sounds like, so I don't know if that's a good or a bad impression.
It's an okay impression.
Okay.
From what I
Cool.
remember of James Dean. But hey, you know what else is weird?
What?
Did you know that Martin Luther King is also fucking alive right now?
MLK's alive?
Yeah, that's part of this video.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah,
Good to know.
They
So
just pepper that in.
they go over his multiple assassination attempts, even though he's still alive. But that's really like they just kind of pepper that in. So after this went live, are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he was having a stroke, but it's
Do you smell toast? No. So after
I
this,
do.
after this video of him giving his inaugural address, which was super fucking short, conservatives kind of protested by making a very disturbing version that was they like upped the contrast and like fucked with the image and just muted the audio. And Stanley Kubrick was cited on record saying this is one of the greatest films ever made.
of course.
He is kind of a
he did.
weirdo.
And I mean, they go on. There's some other stuff in the video, so go ahead and watch it. It's a longer one. I think from what I remember,
I think it's the longest one. It's like 8.5 minutes.
I think it's
The longest one at 8.5 minutes.
Honestly, I think it was closer to 14.
I'm
I
literally
could be
looking right
wrong.
at it. And it says 8.5 minutes.
Cool, 8.5 minutes. Mike
Oh.
has it.
Oh, Doug has the
Yeah.
longest one.
Thank you. That was what I was getting at,
Well-
but that's fine.
Yeah, no, but that's the Dean democracy.
Yes.
Everybody. Now let's talk about something completely different.
And now let's talk about something completely different. We're talking about the next video that's called Air Force One Angel. Back on August 17th of 2003, like we said, we jump around a little bit. Air Force One made an unannounced trip across the continental United States. Many civilians claim to have seen the aircraft,
The aircraft?
the aircraft drop packages on various national monuments. And then we kind of get this like map showing like where the flight pattern is going, and it's going from like you see it go from the Statue of Liberty all up to like the San Francisco Bridge, and you see it go to Mount Rushmore, and you see it go to Alcatraz, places we've seen before.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of came to this recollection as well. In the Mount Rushmore video, it says that infection will come from the sky. Air Force One just flew over Mount
Holy
Rushmore.
shit.
The
Mhm.
pieces are
I just
starting to
realized that.
connect.
The pieces are definitely starting to connect for me.
So yeah, we cut after seeing the flight patterns. We cut to Air Force One with the doors open, and you see this creepy, giant, skinny, white creature, kind of resembles Shy Guy, the SCP, like a smidgel, just because of how skinny and white it is.
Mhm.
You see it like poke out and then duck back in. We get text that says, White House officials later disclosed that the unusual flight of Air Force One was unauthorized and unmanned.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mhm. Little on the creepy side, I will say.
just that little detail.
Yeah.
Just that one little
so
detail.
Honestly, it's that fucking image that makes that whole video.
Yeah. And the fact that it's dropping packages on everything and we don't know what that could be.
I'll drop my package on
You
Mike.
sure could. That's really about it for this one. It's one of the shorter ones. It's only like 2.5 minutes long. It's pretty short. The next video is called The Lincoln Lurker.
Lincoln Looker. I mean, you're not wrong.
Still working. We follow the tales of a couple different people. One of them is a former Lincoln Looker named Maya, M-A-Y-A. Maya?
Maya sounds right.
And she describes her time as being a, quote, Lincoln Lurker. Looker. God, it's so hard to say Lincoln Looker.
Lincoln Looker.
Essentially, she talks about how every president is able to select one person at random, whoever they want, give them a whole like backstory about their disappearance, and they just shove them into the statue of Lincoln, and they have to feed them this weird soup through a straw, and the eyes are just cut out, and they just have to observe. And it's not just the statue of Lincoln. It's in the entire, like, that. What building is that? Is that the Capitol building?
No, that's not the
Lincoln
Capitol.
Monument?
The Lincoln Monument.
The monument. Well, around, I guess in there's a bunch of portraits of, like, Lincoln. And they are, like, in those portraits, too. They're crammed in those portraits. It's fucking creepy.
The dots are connecting for me. I'm about to explode.
I have a couple excerpts from her. This Maya woman who says it was some kind of mask, and whenever the sun shined near, I could see the inside of it.
Do you have a last name on this person?
Arnoldson.
Cool.
Mhm.
Thanks, man.
She says, after 2 weeks, they found out that they had misidentified me and I wasn't the correct Lincoln Looker. She doesn't explain who identified her or what it is that identified her at all. That's all she says. But it's very fucking creepy. And it says, later on in the video, it says, due to rumors that Lincoln Lookers were imprisoned behind presidential portraits, White House officials publicly removed and reinstalled the portraits to demonstrate that no space existed to hold Lincoln Lookers. And it kind of showed, like, examples of, like, here's the picture, here's the portrait, and here's the back wall. Nothing there, right? And it cuts from multiple, like, examples of that to a voicemail from a man named Howard Melrose. And this man is talking about Howard, and he's talking about how he went on a tour in there in the Lincoln Monument area, and he's heard like scratching in the walls, and he went up to one of the security guards and was like, "Hey, what kind of like do you guys like? Can you do anything about these animals in the walls?" And they're just like, "Nope, we can't do anything." And so he's like, "Well, what kind of animals are in these walls?" And the guard just says, "Wild animals." That's it.
Just wild animals.
Yep. He talks about how the
bears of Washington. They
Yes,
just cram
exactly.
themselves into the walls.
He goes on to talk about another story where, and to quote the voicemail, a blind girl with one of those canes went up to a chair and pressed her head against it to listen. She then started crying. So it's very creepy.
Oh, dude.
Yes.
I wish this was a visual podcast because my face has been all over the place. Because, like we said, we've all done very separate research, and all of the dots of my research are beginning to connect.
He then continues going on about how he went to join the little girl because the little girl started tapping and hitting away at the marble, the wall, at the noise. He's like, I started joining this little girl because something just compelled me to help her. And he says that they slowly started banging away at this wall and it started crumbling away. And he noticed the statue, and to quote him, the head slowly rotated back into place, and when it started to be pushed upwards, I took out my camera. So he noticed the head starting to twist and just start nodding back and forth, back and forth. And then it cuts to a video, kind of like an example of the Lincoln Monument, and it just zooms in on the head, and you just see the head just start moving kind of like the Statue of
The
Liberty.
Liberty Lurker.
Yep, the Liberty Lurker. You see the head just start moving out of the way.
Liberty Lurker, Lincoln
Looker, yeah.
Okay.
And then you see a tentacle just shoot out from the statue of Lincoln. So it seems that presidents are kind of assholes and just shove people into portraits of Lincoln. And there's also maybe a monster in the actual monument of Lincoln.
Or an amalgamation
Or
of
an
flesh.
Maybe.
I wish that surprised me, and we'll talk about amalgamations later.
Right.
Oh, we have a lot of amalgamations to talk about. I know I do.
But that woman, Maya, goes into a little bit more
Once again, what was her last name?
Arnoldson.
Maya Arnoldson.
She
Cool.
goes into a bit more description of her time.
Arnold.
Yeah, of her time as a Lincoln Looker, about how people would come in. She could only see out of the 2 eye holes. How people would feed her this weird soup that tasted funny, and how she just couldn't move. It's very fascinating. And
Did you mention that this lady was wrongly put in there?
Yeah. So I kind of mentioned before how the president could just take anyone, give them a false background, and then just shove these people in.
Poof,
They can
you're
literally,
gone.
they could just steal you away from your house, give you a backstory about how you just died, and then they just cement you into these statues or into these portraits.
Well, the lady that you're talking about was wrongly.
Oh yeah, she was wrongly
put
put
in
in there. Yeah, she even says that how they realized that she was the wrong Lincoln Looker.
The incorrect selection.
Yeah.
And they paid her heftily.
Yeah, she won a lawsuit from the government basically and got a hefty fee.
Yeah.
So you guys might have heard me asking about her last name. Keep that last name in mind, because it pops up a fuckload.
Arnoldson.
We're about to go to a different president, though.
Yes, we
instead of
are.
Lincoln.
We are about to go to Washington.
Woo! The great state of Washington.
You guys know good old George Washington. He has nothing to do with this one at all. But this has a lot to do with, well, you'll see. So, next video is called Washington Wormhole. And it takes place between 1840 and 2003. A very large time
Kind
span.
of.
So the first thing you see is a timeline pops up, and it kind of gives you different date ranges, and it goes over different important events that happened between each of those date ranges. The first thing that pops up is that a special tree is found in 1840.
Oh.
A special tree, and they show it, and it looks like one like tendril like shooting out of the earth, and it just is there.
Like a little floppy at the top with like maybe 3, 4.
Yeah, you're very close, Doug.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
you're very close. Is that
Weird.
connecting
Okay.
some dots for you?
It sure is.
So after you see this tree get discovered, they begin building something around it in like this white brick. And they had to halt construction because, Civil War. Racism wanted to make an appeal, and they lost. Thank God. I feel like I had to footnote that.
I was hoping you would just, whatever.
Whatever. And so after the Civil War ended, the construction was finally completed in 1888. And after it's completed, you see it is a very, very tall, four-sided structure with a pointed pyramid tip that might resemble one of our country's monuments.
It's a penis.
Yep, it's the penis monument. No, it's actually directly across from the Lincoln Memorial.
Oh, would you look at that?
It is the Washington Monument.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Washington vagina.
It's the other side,
Oh, okay.
like the other way. You gotta go a mile behind Lincoln to find that one.
And then a few centimeters away is the Washington butthole.
Just a few. It's right fucking there.
But in between those is the... No.
The Washington.
Yes, the Washington.
So after you kind of discover that this is the Washington Monument where this special tree is housed, you get a flyer that it's advertising people to come see the Washington Monument, and if you listen closely, you can hear the music in its walls.
Weird.
I mean, that's kind of piggybacking off of yours, where if you listen to it and you can hear stuff.
Do
right?
you just put your ear against the wall and just hear, I have a pen, I have an apple, oh, apple pen.
Yes, you got it.
Hey, this is a fucking banger.
And so the next little chunk of history is between 1910 and 1971. It's a very large range, but
Quite a big little chunk.
it is. But the reason it's so large is that 20 people go missing from visiting the monument. Okay, And then you get this little leak about something called the Washington Standard Operation. And, what was his name? I don't remember his name that leaked it, but it was leaked by someone from the Associated Press. And it was a film, and it was basically this drawing that shows like what happens at the Washington Monument, and it shows that the inside is hollow. It's identical to like the Liberty Lurker video that shows it moving and shit like that, and the blueprints of it. Same thing with this, and it shows the inside being hollow, and it shows somebody walking up to the side of it and a door opening, where they step inside, and there's this like little elevator thing, and they get inside. It goes up to the top. A sound wave is blasted from the bottom, reverberating off the top. The bottom of the elevator opens, and whoever's inside falls to their death. And that's the explanation you get for what happens inside the Washington Monument.
So don't go.
So again, like I said, 20 people went missing, right? Between 1910 and 1971.
Film showing sound murder.
Don't pay attention to those. I was getting tired. So, following this little chunk, the monument gets it's fucking aptly named. All right,
As long as you know what the fuck you're talking about.
that's all that matters. So after this little video gets shown, we jump ahead to the next section, and you see that it gets vandalized, and it says, "Infection is nigh. The music of Washington will end." Infection is back, and it is nigh. It's very creepy, very
We've heard about
foreshadowing. We
infections
have.
before.
You know what else is nigh?
What?
The end.
Yes, it is. So let's jump ahead a little bit more to the very last date in 2003. Again, please don't pay attention to my notes. It makes sense to me. Basically, what happens is you see like this, it almost looks like a thermal imaging camera filming the Washington Monument, and you see this little door open where like a tendril pokes out, and then all of a sudden you see the top of the monument like show up next to the side of it, and you're like, the fuck? It starts glowing, and like this screaming happens, and it pans back, and this giant tendril has like taken the top of the monument off and is just shooting lightning fucking everywhere. And then the video ends. The very, very end of this sequence, it goes into how after this little anomaly happens, all 19 missing people are found. All 19 of them.
Huh.
Not all 20 of them.
Oh god, it's all making sense to me now.
Right? All 19. And they assume, yep, all 19, which means they think, whoever
Wait.
that last person was.
19?
19.
Oh,
Not
okay.
20.
Okay.
19. So what
Just had
the
to make
fuck
sure.
happened to that last person? Like, they don't exist anymore?
They're
But-
James Dean.
Yes, they are just James
I think
Dean.
I could answer this, but I won't. So
I also can answer it, and I'm going to wait because I honestly think that is going to be in the next episode because this is looking like a two-parter there, boys.
Well, season 2 is a 2-parter.
Well, season 2 is part 2.
Whoa.
season 2, part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Boogaloo. But yeah,
Burglar.
that is the end of the Washington wormhole.
Hey, wait, real quick, guys. Do you feel that?
No.
What's happening?
Your pants are getting tighter.
Well,
Is that unrelated?
it is unrelated, but you don't hear that weird noise?
Hello. We have been tracking the entity known as Ripsaw the Tormentor for some time. It has come to our attention that you have recently interacted with this entity. Please be aware that Ripsaw the Tormentor is extremely dangerous. We believe that the one you refer to as Mike may be particularly at risk. However, we believe that your interaction with the entity may reveal useful information to us. If you choose to continue interacting with the entity, please proceed with caution. The identification numbers in this message will be used to verify further communications on the matter. Please be aware that communications without these identifiers may be attempts by other entities to mislead you. 9, 5, 6, 4.
Delaware double. And this video is fairly short, and there's not a whole lot to talk about on this one.
What was the name of it again? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Delaware double.
Delaware double. Okay.
And so this one is like a short excerpt of like almost like a news story, basically, where they talk about a man who found he basically sees a bicorn hat. And if you're not familiar with that, it's basically like the tri-pointed like pirate hat almost.
My
I could
hat,
call it.
It has 3 corners. 3 corners has my hat.
Yes, that exactly. So long story short, I'm gonna TLDR the fuck out of this video. A man finds a bicorn hat in the ice, and when he picks it up, he realizes that it is fucking attached to a scalp. So this man apparently just knows how to unfreeze a frozen person, basically scoops this man out of the ice and starts to put him in his tub and fucking slowly run hot water on him, increasing the heat ever so slightly as to not put his system into shock. And
so he's like intact.
yeah, it's whole ass man.
A whole ass man.
Whole ass man. That's a superhero we need to talk about later. But so when they unfroze him, this was a doppelganger of George Washington.
With his 3-cornered hat?
With his 3-cornered hat. So what was said was that they think that it's like almost like a conspiracy, but they think that he actually died while he was crossing the Delaware River, and that a stunt double, or I don't even want to call him stunt double, but a double basically was acting as president from then on.
Yep. Mike, why don't you go ahead and weigh in on this, because I think I have too much inside information about this one.
I mean, what do you want me to say? Did he have wooden teeth? Did he chop down a cherry tree?
He'll save children, but not the British children.
No. From what I remember watching too, there wasn't too much on Delaware Double either.
That's pretty much it.
It's strange because so far it's felt kind of out of place with everything else, as odd as that seems. Because so far we've dealt, I think every single video here, besides the Air Force one has dealt with like a statue or a monument or some big landmark. But now we just
George
have
Washington.
He is a big landmark.
He is a landmark.
Yeah, I guess this one makes more sense to Jason, and we'll find out some more things. But
honestly, you guys won't find out until the next episode, and I apologize deeply for that. But
that's season 2,
that's
baby.
the way it is. And so in case you guys were wondering, season 1 and 2 tie together incredibly heavily.
Yeah.
Season 2 is going to tie up some loose ends for sure, but that's for next episode, and I will keep my mouth fucking shut until then.
Okay, so moving on from Delaware Double, we get Rockefeller Tree Tragedy. That's the next video.
I'm going to have to shut up for this one too, aren't I?
You are, because this one's going to tie in a bunch of stuff that you've been talking about, and maybe a couple things that you've been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But, alright, so this video is like a weird Christmas tree story that's half told by a little girl named Virginia and John D. Rockefeller. So
what's Virginia's last name?
Yeah, what's her last name?
Does it say?
Arnoldson.
Arnoldson.
Oh, is it
actually
Arnoldson?
Don't find that out until the very end of the video, but I guess we'll just
freebie, guys.
So there's that. Virginia.
What are you guys, 9? What?
No, we just haven't recorded in fucking 2 weeks, so.
I just was like, why is this red underline on Virginia?
Virginia.
Because I did not spell it correctly. It says Virginia.
Virginia Arnoldson.
Anyways, thank you for bearing with us here. So, weird Christmas story. So, basically what happened... I'm just going balls deep into it at this point. So basically what happens is you start to hear this story about how at the Rockefeller Center, they put up a Christmas tree. But John D. Rockefeller was like, I love this idea. This is great. I'm going to go and find the most perfect tree I can possibly find because that's who I am. So
such a loving, giving man.
So he goes out and he searches for the best tree that he can find. And this part is actually told by Virginia, and it's like drawn very crudely, like a little girl drew the pictures and is narrating it. And basically, you see him being like, "How's this tree, Mr. Rockefeller?" And oh no, that tree's too small. And then you see him like ask, "Is this? How about this tree? Oh no, that tree is too tall." And then how about this tree? Oh, this tree is too
Just
normal.
right. Oh,
Got your ass.
Damn it.
So he keeps searching, and he finds this special tree.
Did they refer to it as a special tree?
It is a special tree. And this tree doesn't look like the other trees. It looks like a big black tentacle with like a few little
guys
points.
on top?
Yeah. And so his expedition team, they tried to cut down the tree, but they spent an hour cutting at it, and they just weren't making a dent in it. So Rockefeller.
This reminds me of Demon Penis Land.
Mr. Rockefeller.
Your shot glass is empty, Doug. You can't escape.
Oh, thank God you saw that. Okay, so yeah, they're trying to cut it down. They can't cut it down. He goes, let's blast it down with dynamite, and that doesn't work. So he says, you know what? Let's dig it out of the ground, and he hires a bunch of grave diggers, and they dig and they dig.
What a weird choice.
And basically they say, you know what? It's going to take us 3 whole years to dig this tree out of the ground. But John D. Rockefeller, being the man of action, goes, fine.
You got one.
You got 3 years. I'm going to pick the 3 next best trees out to fill the gap in between then and now. So once they start, or 3 years passes, and they finally get the tree out and ready to go. So we see, I know this is kind of confusing, but this whole story up until now has been told in 2 different sections.
Mhm.
You've got John D. Rockefeller and Virginia.
Okay.
And you're seeing it through both of their eyes. So now we get to Virginia again. And she's telling the story of when this special tree was put up at the Rockefeller Center. So she goes, I want to be the first person to put an ornament on this tree once they get it up. I'm really excited to do this. The tree's finally up, but I'm too short to reach any of the branches.
Guys, I pay special attention to what Doug's about to say, because you're going to need to remember pretty much all of it for part 2 of this.
Yeah.
Not to give anything away, but this is incredibly important.
All right, so this little girl, she's like, you know what, I'm too short, I need to grab my friends. So she calls 10 of her friends up, and she lists them all off by name, and she goes to each of their houses, and they're like, yeah, I'll help you. So basically, after she gets all of her friends, they come back, and she's like, all right, we're going to make a ladder so I can get to the top of the tree, and I'm going to put my ornament on it. And that's exactly what they do.
OSHA wasn't around back then to prevent this from happening.
No.
OSHA definitely did not care. So
If OSHA was around, John D. Rockefeller would not have been as rich as he was. Not even close.
Yeah.
which is funny you mentioned that, because I'm...
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. I'll stop ruining it.
No, you're fine. You're fine. But I'm getting to that. So
Okay.
she gets her 10 friends. They make a quote-unquote ladder by climbing up each other to the top of the tree, and she finally climbs up and puts her star on the top of the tree. And once she does that, the tree starts to shake. And keep in mind, they had actually put fake branches on the tree to make it look more like a Christmas tree. But once she does this, it starts to shake, and all the tree branches fall off, and then the tree just arcs backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And it literally touches the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as it hits the ground, lightning shoots out of the tree and teleports Virginia into a forest filled with special trees.
Let me guess. Is that the end of that video?
No.
Oh,
It
shit.
is absolutely not.
Okay, keep going then. Fuck.
So she gets transported to this forest with all these trees, and she saw redacted, and then was immediately back to Rockefeller Center. Now, that being said, once she's back in Rockefeller Center, the tree is gone. it is just absolutely gone. So all these kids were like kind of injured, basically, like during this experience. So they all go to the hospital. Once they're in the hospital, all of their parents come to visit the kids. But the parents visiting the kids kind of didn't seem like their real parents. The kids were like, there's something off about our parents. Like, I don't understand what's going on with the parents. And they started asking the kids all these questions about history. And they kept getting the history questions wrong. And everything they knew just wasn't quite right.
But they were pretty confident about their answers, yeah?
They were very confident in their answers. So after this series of questions, John D. Rockefeller actually comes in and starts asking them questions about himself. And he's extremely confused because everyone's like, what do you mean? Like, well, okay, so let me go backwards a little bit. He starts asking them questions about himself, and they start telling him, you know, you're just a philanthropist and you're rich off your oil tycoon and all this shit. And he's just like kind of like flabbergasted at their answers because he's like, they didn't even mention my terms of presidency.
They didn't even mention
my
Beanie Baby collection.
Those dickheads.
They don't know that I know about my Beanie Baby collection.
So when he's done asking them questions, he goes and talks with the nurses for a while. And this is from Virginia's point of view, but she sees him go and talk with them like very quietly, the nurses and John D. Rockefeller. And she keeps hearing them say this one line over and over and over about the x-rays that they took of the kids. And they just kept saying, everything is backwards. Everything is backwards. Everything is backwards. And that she didn't understand like what this meant. So what the parents assumed was that their children had been replaced by doppelgangers.
And like George Washington!
Some of the kids were basically told, you know, like, so Virginia, for example, when her parents came in, they're like, where'd you get those clothes? And she's like, you put these clothes on me this morning. Like, you helped me put these clothes on. And then the mom was like, what are all those dots on your face? And she's like, Mom, these are my freckles. I've had these since I was, you know, a child. And like, just weird things like that. And like, some of the kids were saying even that like their names weren't correct, that their parents were telling them that their names weren't correct. So all this weird shit starts happening, and that kind of ends the video. But the last thing that we see is from Virginia's perspective, and she goes, the tree has been seen wandering the plaza, but it resembles a man far more than a tree.
I'm gonna blow up.
And it cuts to this video of the Rockefeller Center, and you see this like weird triangle blob with like two little eyes, and then it just like looks to the very top of the tower, and then this like lightning bolt happens.
Oh,
and that's where the video cuts.
Whew. I am.
So all the children had different memories, yeah?
Well, not different memories.
Well,
they had their
parents,
memories.
Yeah, they had their own memories that were apparently different from what the family members thought their memories were.
Yeah,
well,
so
that's freaking creepy.
Weird.
I'm okay.
Spooky.
Just based on the title
I
of
just
the
heard that on the way over.
spooky.
Spooky.
Jesus.
Well, to attempt to follow that funness up, the next video is the Canyon Crown.
I'm gonna be fucking bursting at the seams for this one too, because I just realized what that reference is, and I'm upset.
Yep.
Just wait until you hear the last one.
So the Canyon Crown basically follows a family taking a trip to the Grand Canyon, and it starts off like, oh, look at us, like here's Grand Canyon, and it's like an old style, like you know how like in early YouTube it had like the blue background with the white font, and it just typed it, and you're like, wow, look at that, and you add in like cheap effects. All right. Well, you find
that was fake. Jason made that with his mouth.
Yep. With my what, Doug?
with his mouth.
His mouth.
His mouse.
You find in this video these kids just running around the Grand Canyon, just, oh, look at these rocks, look at this sign, that's fun. They find a squirrel named Mr. Squirrel, and they're like, look, it's Mr. Squirrel, he's so cute. And then they go,
Squirrel.
and they go, and then we saw something strange, and it's like, oh, what is this? This took a turn of events. What's going on here? And then it shows like part of a part of a cliffside, and you see this like very blurry, like kind of spaceship looking thing just fly out from the side. Then it cuts away. Then it cuts back, and it just says, it made the whole place smell like vinegar. And it just sees it keep flying around. And then it just kind of cuts, and it cuts to another broad side of a cliff, a lot closer. And then you see this like giant, like body thing just come out very like slowly. And then it just fucking goes speeding out from the side of this cliff. And it's huge looking. And it cuts to this like blue background, white font. And it's like, what the heck was that? It's like, we did a little research and found out what we saw. It's called a canyon gallant, or a canyon crown. It uses vinegar to shrink its huge body back into its head.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Vinegar is important.
It sure is.
So is the word crown.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually,
It says, my dad said the reason we went on this trip was so he could find his sister Maya. I think that was Maya. And then it shows a bunch of pictures of people at the Grand Canyon with their heads missing. And that's where the video
I'm gonna
ends.
fucking explode. Oh
Dude,
my god.
Now, we get, a little bit of more backstory because we've seen that name Maya before. Maya Arnoldson, who is apparently connected to this Virginia Arnoldson. So
one thing I just want to mention briefly is remember shrinking and crowns.
And decapitation.
Yep, that too.
and vinegar.
And vinegar.
Remember everything we've ever said ever on this show.
Honestly, yeah, there's a lot of crossing over. Oh, you need a refill there, buddy?
A little bit. I'm getting a little low.
Little topper? Oh, hold on.
We have.
This is so cathartic. Hold on.
There you go. We have one more video in this season. That's good. My God.
We
have one more.
Glass, not a shot.
True. We have one more episode in this season. Doug, do you know what this is?
Nope. And by nope, I mean yes, I do.
Fantastic.
So the last video is called Freedom Faller, and it was a trip to say the least. So we get this is like a 5-part video.
Yeah.
And it takes place over like a bunch of different people's recollections of this event, is what I'll call it.
Okay.
So the first part of this video is excerpts from a series of exchanges in 1858 that talk about the freedom sculpture and bringing it to life. So basically you have these 4 people talking about, we need a sculpture, we need to bring it to life, and we need it done ASAP. And you kind of see this exchange of the sculptor who's doing it and the guy who's commissioning it being like, hey, can you do this and this? And he's like, yep. He's like, can you change this thing? He's like, yep, I'll change it, no problem. He's like, okay, it's been a couple weeks now, like, when's it going to be done? He's like, give me a couple more weeks, it'll be done. And then he reaches out again, he's like, where is it, what's going on? And they're like, oh, the sculptor died.
Yeah, it's just like one random, he passed away.
God.
But it's on its way. And it's on its way, it'll be there in the month. So just be on the lookout. And dude's like, okay. And that's the first part of the video.
I do like how it's just, oh, yeah, give me another couple weeks. And then, hey, any feedback?
He's
died.
dead.
He died.
Yeah, he's
It's a detective,
unalived
too.
now.
It's a detective that picks it up as well and, talks back to this guy.
Yeah, no, I really hope the hype for the second episode is appropriate because, you guys are getting all of the setup right now. I know you don't know the end, but please pay attention to all of this because holy fuck, when we do the second part of this, everything is going to click the fuck into place.
Yeah, it's pretty masterfully done.
It was Thomas Crawford was the sculptor.
Yes, Thomas Crawford.
And then what's it, Zalfiano, I think it is, or something like that, was the
The
These
wife.
are the reasons why I didn't do the things.
Zafino was the detective.
Zafino.
Is the detective.
Oh yeah.
So that being said, we get to the second part, which is basically it's like a recount of what's happening from the first part, but from this little girl's perspective. And she's basically referencing the sculptor and her mother as Papa and Mama. And that she learns that her Papa is going to be building this sculpture, and sending it on a ship called the Monarca. And this little girl basically watches her father just like not come home from the shop one night, and her mom started acting kind of strange, and then some people show up to her house, and her mom gets really upset and doesn't leave the house again, and like all this stuff, and she's like, I don't know where my dad is. So, but she knows that the sculpture is going on the ship. So she decides that she's going to go to the dock where the ship is, and she finds some boxes, and she gets into the box, and she basically gets shipped out on this ship with the rest of the sculpture that's in these different parts of the boxes.
Yeah, if I recall, I think she's like, well, Papa's statue's going to be on the boat. Papa will probably be on the boat too. I'll get on the boat and meet up with Papa.
Exactly. That's her thought process on this. So, while she's in the box, she starts hearing these loud noises. Very, very loud noises. Doesn't have any kind of explanation for them, but she decides she's going to get out of the box, and she sees something that has her papa's eyes. And
Is it a statue?
it could be. It could very well be.
It could.
But she doesn't quite know that quite yet, and she decides to get back in the box. And she keeps hearing this thing breaking out of its box and making all these terrible noises. And then finally, in an kind of explained way, the boxes get moved, and they all end up on the top of the ship. And then one night, this thing breaks out of the box again and takes the girl with it. And it takes the girl with it into the jungle.
Oh, I'm dying over here. I am dying over here.
And not only does it take her into the jungle, but it keeps sharpening its blade like a fucking maniac while this is happening. But it just keeps staring at her, and it takes her into this hole where it's just sharpening the blade and staring at the girl, and you don't get any more info than that from this part.
Mhm.
No more info about anything in that part whatsoever.
That's why I said you're okay.
There's
Okay.
three more parts to
no,
this.
that's fine. I just want to. I don't want to say anything that's going to be like, oh, I'm going to give it away here.
Yeah.
I just don't.
So now we go to the captain's log of the Monarca.
Oh,
This is
God.
from their perspective. This part's a little shorter. Basically, he's like, yeah, we kept, finding holes in the boxes, holes in the ship. We don't know where it's coming from. Can't figure it out. We keep finding more holes. We keep finding more holes. There's water in the fucking hull of the ship now, and there's no explanation for it. We don't understand. We're gonna move the crates up to the deck now. Because we found more fucking holes in the fucking ship, and we don't know why.
You keep saying like, "Oh yeah, we would sink in 3 days if we didn't do what we just did."
Yeah, and he's like, we don't have enough tar to cover the fucking damage to the ship. So like, basically, what they do is they enter the Gibraltar Strait to get repairs on the ship done, and then once they get there and repair the ship, they realize that all the fucking crates are empty, and there's nothing in the boxes anymore. But he did mention that he keeps seeing someone on the ship, and they can't find this mystery person, which was assumably the little girl who keeps getting out of the boxes.
Yeah, she kept
Right.
saying how she would get out, steal fruit and bread, and run back to the box.
Yeah. So, after this, we get like, I don't even know. It's like more of like a almost like a news piece on what's happening. And how that lots of people saw this thing rushing into the landscape and basically causing massive landslides up this rock formation. And that when they went to investigate it, there's this super linear path up a rocky ass fucking hill, and all that's left is like, fallen trees and fires, and like they have no explanation for it. So this path leads them all the way to this cavern in the ground.
Yeah, they mentioned like the trees were like cut like with a force that like it is what caused like the fires, like the speed and the strength like sparked off the trees and caused a fire. Like the amount of like force it took to do this was insane.
Yeah, and basically, so they follow the path all the way into this cavern, and they enter the cavern. This one dude enters the cavern. He's like, "Holy shit, guys! Like, everyone needs to come in here now." Like, right fucking now. So he leads them all into the cavern, and when they enter the cavern, they find a fucking statue with a woman slain and stretched out over the midsection of the statue. And then the sword of the statue was literally determined to what had made the cuts along the path of this fucking, super linear path that they found. And they found a journal in the caverns, which relates back to the part where the little girl was telling her side of the story. And then we get a poem about the story of freedom, basically about how this man had to carve the freedom out of her that left her possibly dormant, but only for now.
Oh my god!
And he's
I'm
talking
gonna
about the
blow up.
statue.
I'm gonna blow up, Doug.
And then we get to the very last part of the video, which is the very last part of this season, which is a fucking video, and it's labeled Freedom Statue, shot down by ADA. And you just...
ADA?
Yep, ADA, which will...
Has a couple different
Well,
meanings.
no. So there is. I'm sorry, everybody. There's one thing I forgot to mention during the Dean Democracy video.
Yep.
The group of conservatives from the South aptly named themselves the ADA, which is the Anti-Dean Association.
So this video that we see is literally like a really shoddy fucking camera worked shot of the Capitol building, where you see like they're like looking up at the very top of it, because on the Capitol building there is this statue that is called the Freedom, and you see it like kind of like pan up to it, and then you just see like a shot, and then you just see this thing fall.
Like a gunshot.
You see like some kind of like
flashes.
the flash, and you see this thing fall.
Is there a date attached to that?
I don't have a date on it.
Okay.
But
I might be able to help you out with that one on the next episode.
Perfect. But the last thing you see in this video is inside of the Capitol building. You just see this like, it's like they're like looking into a hallway, and you just see these like kind of like tendrils like just raise up inside of the building, and then you hear some fucked up noises, and that's where it ends.
It looks like the date might be 1977.
Cool.
Okay. I just say that because the newspaper thing that you were talking about says 1977 on it.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And that's
the end of season 1,
that
everybody.
is season 1 of the Monument Mythos.
And I'm dying. I'm gonna blow up. I'm going to blow up. I'm gonna give everything away.
Yes, this definitely gave you like breadcrumbs to the overall story that season 2 has for you. Season 2, I would say, is not any more clear. It's still kind of all up in the air until you keep going through the whole thing.
It's pretty. It gets. I think I had the video that ties all of this fucking together, and I'm so excited to share it with you
guys.
guys.
I'm glad to hear that.
But the one video, I have 2 in the next one, but like, oh man, one of mine is fucking whack. Just
guys,
so wacky.
Fucking just stay tuned. We have run out of time because we will double the length of this fucking episode if we keep going right now. So we're gonna do part 2, and we're actually gonna hit stop, and we are gonna hit start right the fuck again.
Yeah, right.
Because I cannot wait to share this. I literally cannot wait. So we're gonna do another fucking marathon recording.
As
Fuck
is
it.
tradition.
Why not?
Mike, where can you find us?
Linktree.com/DelutiPod. You can go there and find all of our links to all of our socials, which we will be posting that video that we just made today as well.
Yep, you guys all see
We
it.
may not be able to post it to Instagram because, it's Instagram. They might not be able to have that long of a video, but we'll try. Our merch link is also on there and in all of our descriptions. You can find us on YouTube under Don't Look Under the Internet. If you just Google DelutiPod or Don't Look Under the Internet, you can find us just about everywhere. Buy me a coffee. .com/DelutiPod, but let's be real, you're going to be buying us alcohol. And then patreon.com/DelutiPod. You can chuck in $2, $5, $7, or $10, whatever you think we're worth. I don't think we're worth more than maybe like a bottle cap from Fallout.
Mike has a very low self-esteem,
but
and not just for him. He has a low self-esteem for me, and he has a low self-esteem for Doug as well.
But thank you very much, everybody, for listening. Do you guys have anything you want to say to the people, the beautiful people?
I mean, I would love to tell everyone to be incredibly paranoid of all of the monuments scattered all across this kind of beautiful country that we have.
That's cool. I would like to say, actually, moving up on over my, monotone, I don't give a shit attitude.
Doug's very excited right now, if you couldn't tell.
I am. I really want to start talking about the next fucking season, like right now. Again, shout out to Sam. Thank you so much. We love the art. Me and Jason
thank
have been
you
staring
so
at
much.
it.
All episode. The whole fucking episode.
Thank you to everyone who supports us. We love you guys. We really are beyond like belief on like what you guys do for us. We did not know we would come this far this quickly, so we appreciate it. But also, I added some new things to our merch store. There's some like winter options for you guys because it's fucking cold where we live. So I figured it's cold where you live, but that's probably not the case.
Unless you're in Australia. But also, you guys were the last to start listening to us, so also there's a delay.
Yeah, there's a delay.
There's
also,
the
you have to pay us
Australia.
a lot more
Also,
for our merch.
and god damn you, Zach, for sending us the transcript to Shrek.
Yeah, that was.
I appreciate it because you heard me doing it, and I,
Just took
actually, you know
over.
what I was thinking? Who would win in a fight, Gargamel or Shrek?
Holy shit! There's an epic rap battle that we need to hear.
All right, well,
Anyways, that's all we have time for today. People, slap your peens and your beans together.
Tune in.
Shake them like you just don't care.
Just tune in the next week. We are rushing off the air right now because we need to record this next
and
episode.
here at the end is one normal voicemail.
I love.
Right, Jason?
Yes, Mike.
All right.
Yes, Mike. And I understand why we are doing this right now, and I completely get it. And
A normal voicemail.
if nothing shows up after this, I'm so fucking sorry. But
Again, I'm making
I-
you drink Skull vodka, and we're recording it, so...
Okay, that's fine. If I don't, I will drink an entire fifth of Skull vodka.
Bye, everybody. Kiss the aunt that you think is weird right on the lips and tell her she's weird.
See, I heard aunt, and I did not think family member.
Yeah, I thought bug.
I thought bug, and I'm like,
Goodbye,
choices.
everybody. You beautiful, wonderful
bye,
people.
everybody.
Bye.
Hi, my name's Matt. Reason I was calling is because I was going through the recent calls on my cell phone, and about a week ago, I had an outgoing call to this number, and I don't remember calling, and I was wondering just who this was and what we talked about, if it was important. I've just been trying to figure some things out. Some weird stuff's been happening lately, and I think I might be going a little bit crazy. Anyway, if you could give me a call back if it was something important, I just want to make sure nothing slips through the cracks. All right, bye now.